Cool your heels to supersize your business. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Brought a pair of heels from my daughter, and it's been at least a decade since I've worn 3, much less 4-inch heels, which is what she's got a closet full of, because she's young and she can wear heels. So cool your heels. This idiom is one of those that I've definitely used a lot in my life. I've told myself a lot in my life. Usually I'll say cool your jets. I think since the 2000s and the 1990s or 1980s or wherever, whenever, for sure we've used the expression cool your jets. I should probably look up cool your jets and find out when that idiom became popular. But right now we're talking about cool your heels. Cool your heels means, of course, to wait for someone for a long time. Usually somebody in power or authority. It means we're waiting for something. We're waiting for something or someone or for a decision outside of ourselves. Now, I don't know about you, but how does it make you feel when you have to wait for somebody or something or for a decision? I remember on a couple of occasions, just a couple, sitting outside the principal's office waiting to meet with the principal because maybe I had gotten into trouble. I remember going to job interviews and waiting for the job interview to start and being so nervous. I don't know, I'd go in feeling confident, and the longer I had to wait for the person to do the interview, the more rattled I would get. Same would be true after I went home and waiting to hear back from that company or that organization whether I got the job or not. Maybe you can relate to that. Sometimes we're doing that to the people in our own company, in our own businesses. Are you late for meetings? Do you show up late for meetings, or are you always on time and prompt? If you're late for your meetings with the people that you're meeting with, guess what? That might give you a sense of feeling like you're in power, but it really sets a negative tone to the meeting because everybody's on edge. All the people that are waiting for you are anxious because they want to get started. Their times and their schedules are valuable too. And so it's really pretty disrespectful to not be on time for things. It's something we could talk about another day, but just think about how does it make you feel, and if it makes you feel uncomfortable in any way, shape, or form, we would never want to do that to our people or our customers. How does it make you feel when you go into a store and you have to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait, and all you have is one little question? Or when you call somebody up for customer service, you have one quick question. You're trying to do a new software or something, or a new thing for your business, or you got a new product or service, and you have one little teeny tiny question that isn't, of course, covered in the 1,000-page manual, and you've read the whole thing or gone through the whole thing or Googled it, and you still can't find the answer, yet you have to wait for 45 minutes or 60 minutes. Have you ever called your banker lately, or called anybody, any customer service? Customer service, the more it's become automated, the less customer focused into customer experience has been considered, and the more frustrating it is for those of us on the outside. So make sure you're in your business not doing things like that, not causing more friction for the people that you're here to serve. So I'm not prone to anxiety, but I do get more nervous and more stressed out and more anxious when waiting for a decision. How about being in court? Have you ever been in court and in a trial or anything where you had to wait for a decision? That's a real killer. So how do we take control? How do we take this idiom, cool your heels, and use it for our business, besides making sure we're on time, making sure we're not making people wait for us unnecessarily to increase their anxiety and stress? And I guess some people would argue, oh, if you're doing an interview, you should make them wait at least 5 minutes so that they get a little nervous so you can see how they behave under pressure. I guess if that's what you need to do, you can do that, and if that's your philosophy, great. I personally wouldn't do it because I think it shows and sets people up for how they're going to treat other people in your organization. Well, so what else can you do? How else can you make sure that you're using cool your heels in your favor? Well, I say, remember that you have the ability to set everything up, especially in your own business, the rules of the game and how you play the game in your favor, so that you're not waiting on potential partners or vendors or customers to make a decision, so that you're not ever feeling like the ball is in someone else's court. You take control and maintain control and set things up so that you can win, and your customers can win, and your employees can win, and everybody can win, because that's entirely possible. And that way you're never dependent on what somebody else is going to do. You know, are there times and situations when things are outside of our control? Absolutely. But that's where our mindset and our belief systems come into play. We know that we're not dependent on any one thing, any one decision, any one action, any one thing that happens in the world for whether we're going to succeed or fail or not. We know that we're resilient, and no matter what happens, we'll figure it out, right? So even when things like pandemics strike, you have the confidence and the ability to know that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out. That's our idiom for today, cool your heels. The other thing that comes to mind for me about cooling your heels is patience. And traditionally, I have not been a patient person. I've always been a go, go, go kind of person, with the exception of a couple of periods of my life. And so things like waiting in line always just used to drive me up a wall. And about 10 years ago, I had a physical challenge that made everything in my life change, and my perspective and my mindset do a 180 and switch. And now, anytime I get an opportunity to pause and appreciate the present moment, even if it's waiting in a line for something, which nowadays, I don't know about you, but I would be glad to wait in a line for something if, I could go out to a restaurant and do things. But since my immune system is compromised, I know that no matter what other people do, I'm going to have to continue to be diligent. So that means I don't even get to stand in lines very much. So talk about a perception change and a perception shift. Going from hating to wait in lines, for a lot of us, COVID-19 has made it that we actually look forward to waiting in lines. All right, but don't make your customers wait in line. Always remember their experience. All right, have an amazing day. Cool your heels. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. If there's an idiom you would like to know the history and the meaning of and how you might be able to apply it to your business, please let me know that as well in the comments. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow with another interesting idiom. What does it mean? Where does it come from? And how might you apply it to your business right now? Have an amazing day.